let's talk about shutter speed. Now, shutter speed is the time the picture is going to be taken. So I'm going to show you a fast shutter speed of, let's see, 640 of a second. Here's how it sounds. Right away, it snaps. That right there is a fast shutter speed. Shutter speed is basically the time that the picture is going to be taken. Now, the faster the shutter speed is, say like 4,000ths of a second, which most cameras today is the maximum shutter speed, fast shutter speed, and the more the more action is going to be freeze. So I see this is say this right here is a person running, and when it runs, say it goes right here and it stops, and it takes a picture right away. So boom, takes a photo. While this is still running, it frees the action right in the middle and takes the picture. However, in a slow shutter speed, like 1 second, this is what you're gonna get, something like this: a blurry picture. You're gonna get a really blurry picture. And now, if you get also having a slow shutter speed, it's gonna be harder to hold. But there is a few advantages of having slow shutter speed. There's a lot of advantages actually. One main example, one main advantage is making lights or water look like they don't look like, you know, really unique and stuff. So if you're taking pictures of a carnival and you see the Ferris wheel spinning, it has light at nighttime, and that picture is gonna look like fireworks. If you're taking waterfall, like a waterfall, you have a slow shutter speed. The waterfall is gonna eventually end up with a the waterfall. Sorry, is gonna eventually end up with a amazing, superb mist effect. Now let's talk about in advance what is shutter speed. So shutter speed basically means exposure time, or how long the exposure is going to last. And exposure means brightness. Now the slower the shutter speed is, the brighter your image is going to be. The faster your shutter speed is, the non-brighter your image is going to be. Now let's talk about a few ways you can control shutter speed without going to shutter priority. The first way is controlling it by exposure. The lower the exposure number is, the faster shutter speed. So the lower the exposure is, say like right there at the lower exposure is, the faster the shutter speed is, 5 meters a second. However, the higher the exposure is at f2. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take that photo. The higher the exposure is, again, it says, if you can't, I don't know if you can read that, but it says 30th of a second. So that is the high exposure with a low shutter speed. So that's one way to control it. The other way is by aperture. I can't control aperture on a digital compact camera, but I can control it on the camera I'm using right now, but I can't show you. Basically, the aperture is represented in the f number. So the lower the f number is, the slower the shutter speed is. The higher the f number is, the higher the f number is, the faster the shutter speed is. And basically, aperture means brightness. And also ISO. The higher the ISO number is, the faster the shutter speed is. The lower the ISO number is, the slower the shutter speed is. Now, beware that if you crank up your ISO, it's going to get grainy and a lot of noise in your photo. ISO basic means artificial light, or the sensitivity in the sensor, which makes artificial light, which I don't recommend using ISO, cranking the ISO up, unless you need to. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this shutter speed tutorial, and see you guys later.